I better stop. My stream is rated mature, you know. Alright? It's a mature rated stream. Here. Watch Audie play Draven. Why aren't you going forward? Hold forward. Go trade. Go trade an auto or two. Get up in this grill. Weak. And if you're wrong, Soraka's gonna hit too soon and she'll heal you right back up. There are no borders. Draven's without borders. It's like that Doctors Without Borders charity, dude. Sorry, it's silver. So Audie says, it's probably bronze. Could be lying to us. If you look this guy up and he's lying, we'll make a formal demotion ceremony, okay? I do it anytime someone lies to me. I hated how weak you played lane here. I think you should have definitely loosened up on the level 2. Did you see how every related content on Reddit was heavily investigated? I really don't care. All I'm saying is, drama like that is only as big as you make it. And it sounds like he made it really big. I mean, look at the Riot Light stuff. It blew over. Like, everyone pretty much hates, like, all the toxic players pretty much hate Riot Light. And that guy was posting some creepy ass shit, and that just blew over within like 3 days. Everyone forgot about it. Guy was taking pictures of his woman laying in bed, and she didn't even know. Creepy photos. No one cared. Because he didn't make a big deal out of it. Let's look at your farm. Tom died in the jungle? Yeah, unlucky. Audie, I hope you understand. There's not that much here. The only thing that I would criticize so far is your level 2 and the fact that you have not warded since you've been pushing. Generally speaking, what I like to do on ADC is if I want to pressure the lane and really try to like take control of the game early, I like to put a ward down at least at try. If my support isn't going to do it, you know, I would do it, and then I would ping the ward so that he does it in lane. You talking about XJ9, but I'm here to tell you, that guy was a beast at League. All XJ9 proves to me is that all junglers who are really good at jungle are really weird people. Oh, you know you're getting ganked here. Like, you know it. You have to know it. Thankfully, Nami's like inting it up. It looks like TF ult scares him away. I'm telling you, all the junglers are weird. Yeah, Tarzan's kind of weird. I like him. He's weird. They're weird peeps. Did we? Yeah, Soraka stole our kill, huh? So we don't get the stacks? Unlucky. Talking about good jugglers. I think it's just a weird role. Breed some weird peeps. Alright. So we got the Lux gank coming. E is fine. Autos are good. Pretty boring replay so far, Audie. I know it's not your fault. Well, it is your fault, to be fair. Because I do think you should have played the, I think you should have played the level 2 more offensively and tried to accumulate a bigger HP lead to do something with it. But this is pretty much just like, this is slow lane. Phreo, I love your comments. Stars hear me. Soraka's carrying you, dude. I imagine you're going for the Death's Dance Rush, which is pretty standard now, right? You want me to skip it? Did you say skip it? Did you say skip to mid game? Hold on. Is that what you said? This is what you said? Skip it, to run, to jump, to hop, hop. Skip it, skipping and a screaming and a bop to bop. But the very bop to bop. There's a counter on this ball, so try to beat your very best score. See if you can jump a whole lot more. Skip it. Alright. Alright, I'll go to mid game. Or I'll just speed up the lane phase. Bop de bop, boys. TF comes down. Smack the tower a couple times. Volibear shows up. Alright, back. Good, you back. Death's Dance Rush is really good right now. It seems like Draven's just fucking beast mode nowadays. Nami peels out. Thanks, Arrow, for the 2 months. Big fan. All my mods are Challenger. What are you talking about? Okay. This is a little risky. Right now, I can't see anyone on the map, and you are pushing for tier 1. No one's dead. I can't see one on the map. I think you have flash and heal. I'm still a little scared that we get rotated on. And I would start repositioning until exactly. Here it comes, right? That's why I say I would start repositioning until I know for a fact that I'm safe. Thankfully, you don't get caught by it. But I'd like you to recognize in the future, like, hey, we're all on this tower right now. And you may want to adjust your positioning. Had the mid lane happen to roam down or maybe rumble TPs to a ward behind us, we're fucking donezo. Okay? I mean, there it is. You kind of just overplay. A reset would have been fine. No mana and you're still fucking around. Super thin. And there it is. First major death. And a very silly one when you think about, like, you had no mana. Reset was fine. You'd already drew pressure. I don't know what your teammates are doing, but I don't really care about that right now. I care about me. And it's just, yeah, you had a lot of stacks built up. A reset would have been good. You're tanking the dragon the whole time. Should have probably just given up the thing. And I'm going to tell you what I was looking at that whole time. I'm looking at top. In solo queue, the game's getting pretty messy right now. And your top lane is running around all willy-nilly. And there's a huge wave building top. And he doesn't seem to give a fuck. And this dragon, these early dragon fights are what decide the game normally. If you're part of it and die, it can get pretty messy pretty quick. So no one's going to claim this top farm. Because Garen has no TP. So I'd be very tempted to go up there and get that top farm and to just let whatever happens in the fight happen. Because if you look, all you really wind up doing is just autoing the dragon. Like, you being here doesn't change it at all. Nothing really changes. Yeah, it was a nice leash. Yeah, for sure. Good leash. Top leash. Good E. Good, you cash. And get a double kill. Alright, so now what are we building? Is what I want to know. What are we building? Good. You itemized the way that I would have liked to see you itemize. That's about right for me. I think this is pretty good. Itemization. Berserker Greaves pretty standard right now. On Draven for the most part. Death's Dance Rush into Static Shiv. Pretty good. Alright. We've been kind of distracted. It's kind of a boring early game. Not much happened. Now it's time for the team fight phase. What are you going to do? It seems to me like you're spamming W a little too much, getting your mana too low. It's a habit that a lot of new Draven players have, where they constantly are just trying to reposition with W. And generally, you want to save that for when you actually decide to go in on somebody, or this is what happens. You can't really threaten all-ins as reliably. The only reason I know that that's a problem, or a common problem with Draven, is because I've seen it and I've experienced it because I've played a lot of Draven back in the day. And, like, that's something that I always had an issue with, too. And here it is. Like, what the hell can you really do, right? So, essentially with Draven, what you want to try to do is try to keep at least like 60 to 70% of your mana active at all time, and then just don't use your W unless you're actually going to be doing something with it. Use your W when you're actually going to be going in on somebody. Don't just use it to constantly move around the map, because that's how you'll run out of mana. I've seen you run out of mana twice now, and that definitely means that's a mistake that you're making constantly on Draven. I wonder if I get a copyright strike on my channel if Phreo uploads any of the skip-its. Skip it, skip it. YouTube sends me an email like fucking UMG says no, you can't use skip it. It's our song. We made this. What the Skip It Soulja Boy remix. One of those mumble rappers, dude. Skip it, skip it, skip it. Sorry. I can see it. I just know. It was an opportunity missed. Cashed again. And we got a blue buff. So now you can actually spam your W and your Q. So this is one of those moments where your brain turned off. First things first, we could have gone to top and just pushed. This is guaranteed. Okay, this is guaranteed CS. By the way, if we don't go to top, we lose this anyways, because it's going to push forward. Okay. Actually, is this going to push forward? I don't think it is. Never mind. Nope. It's going to slowly bounce to us, I think. But we could have grabbed it, pushed it under tower, and then rotate. If you're going to run towards like Fog of War as an ADC, constantly ask yourself in the mid game, how can I die? I'd be willing to bet that if you saw Lux's score before you ran into the jungle, you would have realized that that's how you're going to die. If you press, or if you were back here, right, you make the pick. You fire your ult. And you're going. You're chasing the fight or whatever, right? In this downtime, this is downtime. And this doesn't matter what champion, what role you play. In general, though, it applies more to the squishier damage dealers than anything. As you're moving around, constantly ask yourself, how can I die? Like that mental APM should be churning. It should be like, how can I die? How can I die? How can I die? You check who's up and be like, okay, this guy can do this could happen. And you'll start piecing together and repositioning based on that. So there's the ward. How can I die? How can I die? Your brain should be, alarm bells should be going off by now. Because you're approaching Shroud, enemy just retreated, you have no vision over this wall, and you're still moving at it, and this is just like textbook fucking get pooped on. Atomic is probably a lot. This would have been an easy rotation for Draven. He goes top, he shoves this under tower, and then he pulls somebody there. Part of the reason why I always say if you have a choice, if you're allowed to push an objective, not only are you damaging the tower just by crashing the wave under, but you're moving someone there and then you get more info for free. Safe. No one's going to kill. The only way you die is by this brush somehow if Lux happens to be here. Other than that, it's a free push because we just cleared that space. Fucking skip it. Stuck in my damn head. So tilted. Was carrying the game on ADC, refused to group. I'm tilted too, dude. Every time I lose with Nidalee, I get more tilted. Because I can't seem to win with it. So I know your struggles. Kind of risky Baron. Luck's gonna try to snipe it a lot. There it is. I didn't even look. I didn't even know that was coming. Holgrath, thanks for the 6 months in a row. Appreciate it. There's spoilers at the bottom on the timeline, but I didn't even look. I just had a feeling because I was like, that's the only way we lose this. And of course, I guess your jungler's yeah, unlucky. No smite or smited early or something. So TF's getting caught. You're gonna go and push mid. Good move. I'm on board. You're gonna try to solo dragon. This is not bad, dude. You're making decent choices in terms of like what you can and can't get away with. Based on the info, the vision info that I have here, I think you're pretty safe to do this. And then I also think you're safe to go bottom and push the wave. I don't agree with you backing yet because there's no pressure on the map, and we just saw 3 people towards topside. The only person that could potentially kill you is Rumble, but you could just walk away from that guy. And you have heal flash if push comes to shove. One thing too, dude, when it comes to Baron, like you made a great rotation to Dragon, you push this. Important note about Baron is these are minions. If we clear those minions, that means the opponent doesn't buff them. So right here, we clear this, start pushing this. That means we're not going to have to deal with a Baron buff push anytime soon from bot lane. And then since there's no minions pushing here, you have that window to do that back and defend top if they decide to push top off of it. It's going to have to be the last replay. My brain's getting tired. You understand what I'm saying, Audie? I think that was great. I think that was good heads up for you to go here to the dragon. I think you could have made it a little bit better. And then reset. And see, you would have showed up right here. Just like that. It was about the same time because you went and farmed the jungle. Also, Tom wouldn't have been... I don't know what compels him to go down here. But he probably wouldn't have gone down here if you'd already pushed in. Just saying. Not that you can necessarily know that, but... I don't know why he's going down there anyways. Split push Tom. I like that you keep trying to hit Rumble. That's good. Super A, thanks for the 6 months in a row. Choo choo. All you're trying to do here is hold Baron, so I don't want you spazzing out or doing anything crazy. Like that. That was a very unnecessary amount of damage to take. I know you can lifesteal up relatively quick, but still. Yeah, you had to back off the tower because of that. Just slowly give away your objectives until the Baron's gone, and then you're good to go in. Should be gone soon. Yep. You probably should just hold bottom here. It's kind of weird that you skipped this. Pretty big wave. You're not even helping them in the spot. Your team basically just carried you in that fight, so that's good for them. And good for you, because now you can just... You could have pushed out this bot wave all the way out on your own and got solo XP, which would have been nice for you. Because at this point, the way I view it is you're behind Ezreal and XP, and if I'm you, I'm always panicking when I'm behind an XP. If you ever see me behind an XP in a game, I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, how can I get my XP back? I'm looking for opportunities somewhere to get some XP. So while your team killed 2 people, you could have pushed out bottom, and who knows, maybe Lux shows up and you do a quick outplay or something, because you can definitely outplay Lux, actually. Even if she's 2 levels ahead of you, as Draven, you can dodge one of the skill shots and then you're in the money. It's a long replay, but it's a good one. There wasn't much you were going to be doing there, to be honest. Close. Now, I would like to point out, this is pretty much where the game is, in my opinion, at least in terms of your carry potential, this is kind of where it ends. If you were somehow able to pick up a multi-kill and close some of the XP gap that way, that would have been a very significant fight for you. I would like to end this replay with some thoughts. First things first, lane phase. Always, 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 level 2, look for pressure in lane as Draven. Lucian and Draven, bane of my existence in solo queue right now. Every game, they're fed. One of the two are fed, and they're on the other team. I didn't see you really looking for that level 2 all-in and for that early rush of, like, momentum. I think that if you were more assertive in that, you could have taken more lane control and maybe got a first blood or at least push people out of lane or something. I wanted you to play more up front when you spike level 2. Just like I tell all my ADC players, don't come into the lane with, you know, with an aggressive champion and not play aggro level 2. Especially when you factor in that Soraka is always going to heal you up after that fight. Like, she's almost, like, even if the trade goes bad somehow and you play way ham and it doesn't work out, like, Soraka will hit level 2 and she's going to heal you. And you'll still have lane control. Lane will still be pushing forward. Outside of that, I think you and I both identified now that you're using your W and your Q way too much. Well, mostly your W. You're overusing it and draining your mana, which was why you got killed down here. It was you overstaying, but the other aspect of that is, like, you drain your mana because you're constantly spamming W in spaces that you shouldn't be. And on one end, I can admire that you're trying to be active on your champion, but you need to dial that back and think of it more as like a gear shift. And like, okay, I'm conserving mana right now, conserving mana. I'm going to try to make an aggressive move. Bam, W, and then just fucking go in. Go hard in the paint. As the game wore on, you got hit by a pick over here, which is... It happens. Like, it's not going to be the first time you get comboed by Lux from the fog. But what really, you know what spot I'm talking about, where you had the minions here? The reason why I don't like that is not so much that you get hit by a pick from the fog, because you're going to have a brain lapse, a brain fart, and get hit by shit from the fog sometimes. It's going to happen. It's important that you always at least try to be thinking throughout the entire game, like, oh, who can kill me? How can they kill me? Etc., etc. But the bigger problem I had was that you had free lane to push. And anytime it seemed like you had free lanes to push, it was like you didn't want to go over there and do it. And technically, in my experience, at least with ADC, if you can keep that level lead above the room, at least with Draven Lucian, they both scale really fucking well. And they're both pretty good lane bullies. So all that leaked XP, like you missed the XP here, or you didn't come after Dragon, you didn't come and try to push off a side lane. After the team fight happened, and you went mid and followed your team instead of going off to a side lane and getting some farm. That stuff adds up to this final stand over here, Bobblehead Draven, where because you're not level 17 or 18, suddenly you're not able to make the sick 1v3, 1v4 hold at the base, which you could have probably, if you had managed your XP a little bit better. I think it's very possible. I really do. Your farm's not that bad at all. It's best in the room for sure. I just think that in some spots you could have been a little bit more. You did it, like you went, you got the solo dragon or whatever. But I really want you looking for those empty lanes that are pushing anyways, you know, or there's nothing going to happen with them anyways. And go and try to shove those out, especially time and time again. You had info. The time that you could have went top, we had 3 people mid. The time you could have went bot, you had 3 people over here. Those are spots where you can start going and saying, okay, I'm gonna bait my team a little bit just to ensure that later in the next important fight, you know, unless they just get wiped off the face of the earth, the next important fight, I'll have a bigger edge. And not to mention, in that particular instance where the dragon was what you took, they had Baron. So if you pushed all the way down here, that would have nullified a bit of the Baron push. And maybe it saved you an objective along the line over here, or you would have been level 17 and been able to defend the objective. You see how those things add up over time. So yeah, big things. It's definitely overusing the W and then managing the waves on the side. That would be where I would focus on. You really didn't play this that bad. But my biggest grievance for sure is that you definitely did not play the early game as aggressive as I want to see you playing into this lane. I want you playing into Ezreal Nami like you fucking own the streets and really trying to get that early lead. At least get that early lead and then transition into farm mode just to demoralize the enemy team or something. But it was very slow start from you. But not bad, dude. You can definitely improve, but this is not bad. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe. If you like the Draven replay review, it's NEACE. I love you guys. And if it's on YouTube, thanks. I'm out. Peace. Cracks.